Hey, oh my Planet Coaster friends, Lucy Van Pelt here, and I am here to take you through my thoughts on the new Update 8 that is coming to Planet Coaster 2 very, very shortly. We really don't have a lot of time to wait for this update, and I think this is going to be like the update of the year. I am very excited for this one because we are getting all sorts of interesting new features, new blueprints, and all sorts of interesting stuff. And I'll tell you one thing, it seems like Christmas came early, to be honest with you. Plus, we have a new DLC to cover in this video as well, which is full of exciting stuff. So like they say at Frontier, let's dive into it. Alright, so the first thing they touched on was we will now be able to scale the animatronics. This is going to be a very interesting feature. We can't currently do this, but pretty soon we will be able to. So like you see here, you can make the eels bigger. You can even make things smaller if you want to. And wow, you can even make traps with that. You can even make dragon families. And you're gonna need a bigger boat if you make that Kraken bigger. That's gonna be a very interesting feature to play around with, is scaling the animated scenery. And I guess this was touched on in the Sorcery Pack DLC. I think we kind of got a teaser for this feature with the animated spider. That is a scalable animated piece. But now it's not going to be the only one. They say that you can do this with any animated piece in base game or DLC. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I think that's going to be very interesting. And speaking of animated pieces, we're also getting a new spring moving platform. Unlike other moving platforms in the game, I think this one is more physics based, and the objects on it will move around depending on the movement of other platforms or whatever you attach this to. And so I think, for example, like say if you were to put that on a vertical moving platform and put it on the explosive upward setting, it would probably cause the object on the spring platform to just go boing right in your face or whatever. I can just imagine that. That's going to be fun to play around with. I can't wait to see what people use this for. This looks pretty interesting too. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to come up with some fun ideas for the use of this as well. And for those of you who wanted more blueprints, well, ask and you shall receive. Frontier is allowing us to have more blueprints, not just from the old themes, but the new themes as well, which will certainly wow the guests. It's going to be nice to play with these. And the new coaster updates. The RMCs are getting launch pieces, so we can make launched RMCs like Lightning Rod. That's pretty cool. Some of the old Vekoma coasters are getting double spline track, and the Mine Train is getting track that doesn't have the planks, which would be cool for making, well, those kinds of coasters. And coaster maintenance will also be getting an improvement, so you'll have to keep an eye on that to make sure everything works right. Prestige also works a little bit different now with scenery, from what I was told. So I guess don't know too much about this, but I guess maybe the closer something is to the ride, the better prestige it gives. And I guess there's some improvements to the facilities as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and from now on you'll see guests leave a pool or not join a line if their needs are not met, so you'll have to keep an eye on that. And there's been some improvements to the weather system. They're adding new types of weather, such as thunderstorms, which will have an impact on your park. They recommend closing your rides during thunderstorms because if you don't, lightning will strike it, and if people are on the ride, they will panic. Guess I also don't like getting wet, apparently. So make sure that your mechanics are nearby in case the lightning strikes. And make sure you give your guests plenty of umbrellas and sheltered areas, because they do not like getting wet anymore. And make sure there's body dryers nearby. Guess we can use those for more than just pools. They can keep everyone dry now. And sunburn works a little bit differently now. The guests will end up using up all their sun cream and will need to buy more in order to stay in the park during very, very hot and sunny days. All these changes are great. Oh, and there's also a temperature gauge down there at the bottom, so you can keep an eye on the temperature. But even though all those updates are great, honestly, it's nothing compared to this. We are finally getting dynamic snow, which will have a very big impact on your park as well. Guests will need to stay warm, and of course there's going to be provided heaters for that. But that's not the only thing. You'll have to make sure you have a lot of hot drinks for them available too. But also, during snowy weather like this, your pools can freeze over if you don't have heaters installed in them. So, yeah, these weather improvements are great, and I can't wait to play around with these. And the snow is especially. And of course, what does snow this time of year mean? Christmas! And yes, just in time for Christmas, the festive theme has returned. This is something I wanted since day one, and I don't know why it wasn't there on day one, but I'm super happy that it's back now. We'll be able to make festive themed parks again. That's why I think this is the highlight of the year. And the update of the year. The festive stuff is here just in time for Christmas. Now, those were all the updates that everyone's gonna get, but these ones, such as the Vector Child Coaster now having a boomerang model, well, this is only exclusive to the Sorcery Pack DLC. So, the Sidecar and Outer Max Raid Coaster are also getting dual launch holding pieces, and the Outer Max Raid is also finally getting the chain lift that people wanted. That is pretty cool too, not gonna lie. But remember, these changes are specific to the Sorcery Pack DLC, and if you don't have it, you're not gonna see these parts of Update 8. But with that out of the way, now let's talk about the new DLC. correctly. Releasing alongside Update 8 is the new Toybox DLC pack, which includes 5 new rides and a lot of different toy-inspired scenery theme pieces. Which, yeah, toys and Christmas, obviously this goes along together very well. So let's see what we can see here. We got the new Vector New Gen suspended coaster. I guess a wave simulator, a top scan ride. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me see here. There's also, yeah, a parachute drop ride and a kiddie coaster. All this with a lot of new different toy-themed scenery pieces. And I know a lot of people think that this is probably like one of those niche themes, but toys and Christmas, they go very well together. So honestly, I think this is perfect, and I definitely have big plans for this DLC. But that's an exclusive look as to what's coming in Update 8 and the new Toybox DLC. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of my future videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this look at Planet Coaster 2 Update 8 and the new Toybox Pack DLC, which is releasing on December 4th. So take care and have a good one. And I will see you all in the next video.